Welcome back. This is Parliamentary Highlights. Now, immediately after the responses by the main opposition, we caught up with Finance Minister Dr. Lipenga for his take on some of the issues raised by the opposition.
But at the moment, I'm more interested in commenting on what responses we are getting to Our Excellency the President's speech. At least no one is saying there is no substance. No one is saying, you know, the usual things that people say automatically, oh, this speech is empty, blah, blah, and so on and so forth. I've noticed that they are zooming in because the speech was obviously longer than last time, and there probably was more detail, even though last time's speech from the President also was full of substance, and therefore there was no justification for the things that were being said that time. At least I'm not hearing those things this year. But what is coming out, though, is that there is a misunderstanding of some of the issues. There is, for instance, the fact that the Kwacha is appreciating. There is a grudging applause from commentators, particularly in the opposition, that, well, this is a good thing. And then it's almost automatically followed by skepticism about whether this will be sustainable, whether this may not be a temporary thing. So I just wanted to say that, look, the appreciation of the Kwacha is not accidental. It is not the result of some mysterious, unknown, miraculous forces. It is the direct results of deliberate policies that are being implemented by the Joyce Banda administration. The reforms that were initiated starting last year immediately had results in the sense that they led to the availability of fuel, but certain of the outcomes would have to wait until later. We were aware that indeed there are some negative aspects of the reforms in that they cause indeed some pain, which is still there. But what is happening now, the appreciation of the Kwacha and the lowering of the price of fuel are some of the indications that these are indeed sound policies. Now, as for the temporariness of such outcomes, well, we must remind ourselves that the Malawi economy, because of its dependence on a single or two crops, has always been seasonal. And what we want to do as the Joyce Banda administration is to address that seasonality, because that is what makes the structure of the Malawi economy skewed, in that there are lean seasons and then seasons that are not so lean, as it were. For instance, now there is maize harvest and tobacco, and obviously, because inflation in this country is largely driven by the prices of maize, when maize is available, that dampens inflation, and that's a factor. But the fact also remains that last year we had a tobacco season and we didn't see the same outcomes because the macroeconomic fundamentals were not in place. So what's happening now is the combination of many factors, all of which point to the policies that are being implemented by the government. And the seasonality is what we want to address through the economic reform plan. The reason why the President talks very frequently about a second crop is because we are aware that later in the year, there does tend to be food shortages indeed. But if we do the right thing, if, for instance, as many farmers as possible grow maize, then we can begin to weaken that lean season and maybe eventually kill it. So it's really a matter of policy, a matter of initiatives that we undertake that will address these issues.